What's up, guys? This is T Word of the Mike Check Podcast, and we are back. Today, we're going to be talking about some NFL stuff, and we're going to get into the first 5 draft picks of the NFL draft. We're doing the mock, and we're going to use Sports Illustrated as a guide for the picks that we're going to make based on some team needs that we projected in this upcoming draft, okay? So, we're going to start at the very top, obviously. The first pick we're going to talk about is the number 1 pick, and this is going to be the first video in a series of around 6 or 7 vids. At the end, we may do kind of an analysis breakdown and try to grade exactly what we think of the picks, but for now we're just going to go ahead and pick the first 5. Number 1 pick, which was traded from Chicago, is going to be the Carolina Panthers, and we expect them to pick quarterback CJ Stroud of Ohio State. Now, their reasoning for this, it says Bryce Young may be a better quarterback right now, but they expect CJ Stroud to be the better quarterback overall. I tend to agree with that. I think the tools, his size, and then the way that he's run the offense, and he's not been exactly surrounded with the very most elite talent, even though he has elite talent around him. So he's had to do a little bit more with a little bit less, unlike Bryce Young, who you go to Alabama, you tend to have everybody. Now, Bryce Young won't have to wait for long, because coming in with the number 2 pick is the Houston Texans, and we expect them to pick Bryce Young, quarterback out of Alabama. And again, many of the same things I was saying about Stroud. He's surrounded by elite talent, so we're gonna need to see what they can do when they don't have the best of the best around them, and maybe they're in a scheme that's a little bit uncomfortable for them. All things considered, I expect both players to play really well within the first couple of years in the league, especially if the team takes supporting cast seriously when they draft the rest of the players and they start to pick up other guys to put around them. The number 3 pick is held by the Arizona Cardinals, and they're expected to pick up edge rusher from Alabama, Will Anderson Jr. Now, the Cardinals may potentially trade this pick, but we're not going to account for any potential trades. We're just going to talk about the draft as it lays. Now, a little bit closer to the draft in about a week or so, we're probably going to talk about potential trades and really just take an episode to explore what might happen and who might move and what those picks might turn into. All right, next up at number 4, you've got the Indianapolis Colts, and they're projected to pick quarterback Anthony Richardson from Florida. So the Colts have been in search for a QB for quite a while, and if you remember in our pre-draft team need videos, you'll recall that we were talking about pretty much all of the AFC South, except the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be looking for a quarterback and potentially early in the draft, and this is it for the Colts. Next up, you've got the Seattle Seahawks selecting from Denver's pick at number 5, and despite a lot of controversy going on with Jalen Carter, there's been a lot coming out on a regular basis. He's projected to go at number 5. This is going to be a defensive tackle from Georgia, and I mean for Seattle, it's kind of one of those things where they've always been really good on defense, and typically when their defense can hold up, their offense has time to catch up, and I expect much of the same. They're locked up at quarterback for at least a year with Geno Smith, so for Pete Carroll, having a good defense has always bode well for him, where some guys, they can kind of live off a bad defense and just have really good offense. He's not like that. He needs to have a really good defense in order to be successful, and this is one of those pieces that'll help. Now, how this player performs and what he does to keep himself out of trouble after the fact, I don't know, but that's going to be a good fit for them if he can keep his nose clean. So, quick recap. At number 1, we had CJ Stroud to the Panthers. Number 2, Bryce Young to the Houston Texans. Number 3, Will Anderson Jr. to the Cardinals. Number 4, Anthony Richardson to the Colts. And number 5, Jalen Carter to the Seahawks. So we're going to get into another video later and talk about picks 6 through 10. But until then, this has been T for the Mike Check Podcast. Until the next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am out. Peace.